Hello and welcome to the Design Your Happiness YouTube channel. I'm going to be your host, Marilee Blair. I created the Design Your Happiness channel. Actually, I created a podcast for audio form last year, and I did it to help people feel inspired, empowered, and connected, and just to feel uplifted during this time and forever. To have this positive mindset because I'm a very positive person. So I wanted to help other people and just be a light in their world. So, Design Your Happiness is to help design happiness into your own life. So last year, in 2020, when it was a really hard time for everyone, I had lost my job. I had to cancel my dream wedding with my husband. I had to cancel my bachelorette, cancel my bridal shower. And so I felt like all of these things happened at once. And I went through a really hard time. I was sad. I went through different grieving processes. And then I felt like I couldn't stay in that mindset though for so long of being sad and being depressed. So I felt like I had to do something. And since I had lost my job, I had this time. So I was like, what am I going to do? And during the time of when all of these things kind of happened, I just started reading more. I joined a miracle morning group. I made a new vision board. I just started to figure out what did I want. And something about me is a lot of my friends have been telling me, for years, ever since I was in high school, like, Marilee, I wish I could just keep you in my pocket and just give me some positivity or, just have a pep talk with you. And so that's partly why I created my podcast as well. So I have pep talks on there so I can help give people quick inspiration. But the other reason too is a little bit about my background. So about 10 years ago, after I had graduated college, I graduated college with my BA in communications, and then I wanted to be a news reporter. So I got an internship with the CW, and then I got an internship with ABC 10 News here in San Diego. And then my mentor at the time, Joe Little, he's one of the biggest TV news reporters in San Diego. He had advised me, Marilee, like, you need to learn, shoot and edit, and write your own things. So I went to Palomar College, where they actually have their own TV show that you go live every Tuesday, channel 16 at 6 p.m. And that way you can learn how to do those things to become an actual news reporter. And so they had two television shows. So the first television show was Prep Sports Live. So you cover high school football highlights and you report on them. And then the second TV show was North County News, so it's all about news, and they're real news stories. Like, everything's real, nothing's fake. It's all real, it's all on live TV. You either go live in the studio or you put your own packages together to kind of create a story, and then you will have it rolling when it goes on TV. So they would always choose what you were going to do each week, and you had to prepare all that, right? You had to put the whole thing together. And so I really wanted to be a reporter, and it was such a big dream to be on TV. So I was so excited to be on TV that way and through my 10 News internship. And then, I realized though when I had finished that I wasn't passionate about news or sports. I wanted to be an e-news reporter. And unfortunately, I couldn't find a job, so I went back into event planning, which was another big passion of mine for the last 10 years. So back to when last year happened and I lost my job because we couldn't have events in 2020, and I had to file for unemployment. I wanted to do something and get back into media. And it's interesting because I actually, a couple of my bosses, they found my old sports and news videos on YouTube. And they said, wow, like, you're really good. Like, you should go back into media. You should get back on camera. And so I had been trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then again, like, all of this stuff happened, and I was actually listening to Lori Harder's Earn Your Happy podcast. And because I was trying to figure out how to get through, my sadness of losing all these things and just feeling really overwhelmed. Like, what's my plan? What am I going to do? And she said something that just really hit me. She said, have a good routine to help keep you happy, because, when you have a good routine and good healthy habits to look forward to, it puts you in a good mindset. Otherwise, if you don't have a plan or something that's set, it can be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And so I decided to come with a good routine, but she said something, what are you going to do with this time? Like, what are you going to create? And I felt like she was talking to me. I felt like she was saying, Marilee, what are you going to do with this time? Because you have time. You just filed for unemployment. What are you going to do with this time? And so I was like, wow, Lori, like, what am I going to do? And I was also reading this book at the time called A Tribe Called Bliss with my girlfriends. And you do these soul assignments. And in one of the soul assignments, it had asked like what your secret passion is. And so I think I started to just think about it a lot more that night in combination with listening to Lori's podcast. And I was like, you know what? I want to create a podcast. I want to help people and bring people happiness and positivity and just help with their mindset. And because I know how much listening to podcasts has helped me, so I could help people as well. And so I decided, I told my husband, and I came home and I was like, you know what? Like, I want to start a podcast. And he was so amazing. That's all I said. I said, I want to start a podcast. And he was like, oh my gosh, like, you have to do this. Like, you were meant to do this. Yes, you're doing this. And then he immediately, right after I said that, ordered me a microphone and a headset. He ordered my website so I could have it ready, and just I started learning whatever I needed to do to make a podcast, and so that way I could get back into media. And since it's been in audio, again, I decided to bring it to video now. So this is my first video episode. So I could introduce you all to the Design Your Happiness podcast. I'm going to bring back all my audio episodes that are on it from last year and bring it this year, so that way it could help all of you still, because there's some really good topics, some really educational episodes, and just things that will help you no matter what year it is. But this channel, I really want to help people. And I've always tried for the most part to be a positive person and just someone that you want to be around. And I want, when you come to my channel and listen to the podcast or my channel in general, that you feel like, wow, like, it was so great to hang out with Marilee, and she's helping me in my journey to designing my happiness. So that's just what I want to bring to all of you. So all the episodes, that I bring you, again, it'll be educational. I'll bring extremely inspiring guests that maybe they're in an industry that you want to learn more about, or how they've designed happiness into your life to help inspire all of you. And again, like on the educational side, for you to have free information that you can learn more about, maybe things that you don't know so much about. And the things that I'm learning now and the people that I have access to, the connections and the resources, I want to be able to share that, because I know right now, like, I'm living my most authentic Marilee that I've ever been. And so I want to share that with all of you, so you can live the best version of yourself and the best life that you have right now too. So that's part of Design Your Happiness. And so something that I also wanted to share. So part of my positivity. So a little backstory, I wasn't always this way. So I think when my parents had got divorced, I was a bit more negative. And, it was a really hard time. It was a terrible divorce, and I didn't have a good relationship with my father after that. And I just felt like I didn't have a male role model. And thank goodness for my mom, because she got me through the darkest time in my life, and she helped me become the positive person and the woman that I am today. And she told me at the time, she was like, Marilee, like, you need to be more positive, and you need to read The Secret. Like, you need to understand the laws of attraction. And so at the time, I didn't really understand that. And then I finally watched the movie and I read the book and I started to understand. And I'm going to talk about the laws of attraction more and The Secret in a later episode. But for you to understand quickly about the laws of attraction and The Secret, it's basically the energy that you put out to the world is what you get back, right? So when we're in a positive state of mind, we'll receive, positive good things back. If we're in a negative state of mind, we'll receive negative things back. So I can give you an example. It's like, let's say you wake up, right? And then you stub your toe and you're like, oh man, it hurts. And then you're like, oh, and then you jam your elbow somewhere. And then it's like, it keeps happening, but it's based on your reaction. Like, all of these bad things keep happening. And if you keep reacting badly, those things will keep happening until you change your reaction. So you would want to say, like, so that happens, like, you wake up and you stub your toe, like, ow, that hurts, but I'm grateful for another day. Then you'll notice all these positive things keep happening. So you really want to pay attention to your language, what you're saying, and how you're reacting to things, because it comes back to us. The universe, the laws of attraction, that's what you're taught, is it's based on the universe. Like, it feeds off of our energy and our vibrations. And so if you're putting good out there, good will continue to come back. And I'm not saying, you have to always be that way, because life is challenging. Life is hard. And I'm a normal person, so I will be real with you, and I will be real with the challenges that I go through too. But we can't stay in that frame of mind. We need to go through our healing, and then we need to move forward, and we need to realize what the challenge is teaching us. And that's what I realized so much last year. So, when I had lost my job, I was so upset. I've been an event planner for 10 years, and it's such a hard thing to be like, you're not guaranteed income. But I realized, like, what I was learning from it was, well, now I get to create this podcast. I got to get back into media. That's the positive. And I can make a difference in the world, which is something that's so important to me. All I want is to make an impact and touch people's lives in a positive way. And so I also got this time to relax that I have not gotten a lot of time to relax. I've been working, for such a long time, and I would work crazy hours in the events industry. I was always working weekends, and I think it kind of gave me that, okay, like, this is the time to maybe chill and focus on your health, because I found out I had all of these health issues. And so I am grateful that I was able to have the time to figure it out. And I know that wasn't the case for everyone, but no matter what, life will always be challenging. We will always have things that we have to go through. So just remember to figure out how you react. Take as much time as you need it to heal and to vent. I know that having a good support system is so important for our happiness and just for our state of mind. And I'm so grateful. I have a great support system. I have an incredible family, my mom, my sister, and then my husband is my rock and my best friend. And, in challenging times, what we came to do, and what I came to do a lot last year too, was focusing on gratitude, focusing on all the things that I do have and all the things that I can do. So during when last year was, 2020 was a hard time for everyone, I was like, okay, when I wake up, what's the first thing that I'm grateful for? I'm so thankful to be alive, that God gave me another day of life. Like, I'm so thankful that I can move and exercise, because exercise and fitness is so important to me. I breathe it. It's my everything. And I'm so grateful to live in a house and a great neighborhood that I can walk and there's great trails, and that I have a home gym that I can work out in. I'm grateful that my roommate is my personal trainer, so he can keep me in shape. and so I have food on the table. There's so many things when you focus on gratitude. It just helps keep you in such a gracious, like happy state of mind. So even during hard times, try to think of all those things that you have to be grateful for and just look at, what is this teaching me? What can I do? And come up with options that will help you come up with a plan after you go through your grieving process. So that's what really helped me. And more about me, like in how my positivity is and how it's contagious. So as I, kept growing up, and so when my mom had introduced me to The Secret and the Laws of Attraction, after that, I really became a much more positive person. And that's why a lot of people like to be around me and vent to me and tell me, their problems, or people would talk to me about very personal things that, I don't know, some of them didn't even tell anybody else. And so that made me really see the emotional intelligence that I had, and that, people felt comfortable and vulnerable with me. And so again, that's like tied into this channel. Like, I want you to feel that from this channel. I want you to feel connected to me, and that maybe there's something that I can share that you relate to, and that it can lift you up depending what you're going through in your life. And so when I was in college, I continued to have this like very positive attitude. I moved to San Diego and I didn't know anyone, and I just wanted to be this incredible woman, and I wanted to meet as many people as possible. I'm a very social person. I love to meet new people. And so I had joined a sorority, and I had this position called chaplain. And so I did something that most chaplains didn't do. I would say a positive quote before every meeting, and we had 130 girls, and everyone had a very important position. But what I was trying to do was create the positivity from the beginning of the meeting, help the girls feel inspired, and I really feel that it worked, because if you can just leave that impact and share a positive quote, like, I just love positive quotes because it just helps so much. Like, these powerful positive words can help us so we can change that negative radio station to a positive one. And we need that help. Sometimes we're so in our heads with what we're going through or what we're feeling. It helps to have someone like a podcast or a YouTube channel or a quote to help us shift our mindset. And so I've continued up to where I am now. I still get told all the time that people love the positivity that I bring. And so again, that's why I created this, because I thought that it was time that I shared my positive, loving voice with the world, and to help all of you and inspire all of you, and that we can have everything that we want in our life and live the life of our dreams. And that's what I'm working towards too. And so I'll let you know something else that helps a lot too with designing our happiness is creating a vision board. So I've had 3 consistent vision boards I've had in the past 6 to 8 years. And so I made a new one last year. So I'll show you my vision board. So I highly recommend doing this just for, so you have like the life that you want to create like right in front of you. Because the thing with vision boards, and you'll learn that too with The Secret and the Laws of Attraction, when you visualize the things that you want in your life every day, when you're looking through at your vision board, it gets into your subconscious. And your subconscious is what you want to teach that you can get these things, and you want to look at it every day. And that way it just helps, because it will help you in the action that you're taking in your life work towards making those things happen. So it's incredible to see, like, my first 2 vision boards, so many of the things came true. Like, I wanted to move to San Diego because I had lived in Los Angeles, and at the time my husband, who was my then boyfriend, we were doing long distance, and I made that happen. I remember I wanted this promotion, and then my event planning job, they created a position for me to get promoted, and I had put all of those things on my vision board. I wanted to travel to all these places, and those places I went to. And so that's just the beautiful, powerful thing about a vision board. Things don't necessarily happen right away. It takes time for those things, but it will happen if you're consistent with the action that you take and you visualize that every day. So I'm going to show you, this is the vision board that I made, and it's really easy to make a vision board. You can use magazine, newspaper, you can use poster. I didn't even use poster because I was trying so hard to save money. I literally cut 2 pages from a magazine and then just put all these pictures and phrases that I want. So, I'll show you some of the things. So since I had to cancel our dream wedding, I just put, I still want us to have our big dream wedding. And so I put like all these, say I do, love, wedding, I want us to be together forever. So I put, 50th wedding celebration and things like that. And I put like all the other things that are important to me. Travel is so important to me. And so I put it here, all these like different travel pictures. And then I put fitness. I mentioned that fitness is really important to me. So I put, women with beautiful bodies and, just and other phrases about like, you can make your dreams come true. I really wanted my family to move to San Diego really bad. That was like a really big dream of mine because, we've been separated for a long time and just hadn't consistently lived in the same place. We're originally from Northern California. We all lived together around the same time for a little bit in LA, but then I left again. And so I really wanted them to be here. So that was important. And that came true last year. They moved to San Diego in July of last year. So I made this, right in March, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but you keep focusing and take action and help where you can, and these things become a reality. So it's exciting. And so I'll share, some of the ways that I design happiness into my life is I practice gratitude that I mentioned. I have a good routine of healthy habits that keep me in the right mindset. So I have mentioned many times that fitness is so important to me. So that helps me design my happiness because I get endorphins and I'm so happy, and it gets me pumped for the day. And you feel so accomplished when you have a good workout. And I'm not saying that everyone has to do that, but it fuels me. It excites me. And I have specific fitness goals that I'm working on too, but I'm enjoying the journey, and I just love working out. And I'm also doing the 75 hard challenge. So for 75 hard, you have to do 2 workouts. So one 45-minute workout has to be outside, and the other one can be indoors or outdoors, and they don't have to be intense. So I train with my roommate, who's a personal trainer, for one of the workouts, and then you could do a walk outside, yoga, an ab workout, anything that's outside, whether it's, weather permitting. You still have to do it, and you have to have a clean, healthy diet, and you have to read 10 pages every day, and you have to drink a gallon of water, and you have to take a progress picture that you would do on the 75 hard app. And then we have a group so we can keep accountable. And I really love that. That's part of my healthy habits, and I love doing new challenges, especially, with exercise and with your mindset. And I believe I'm on day 12 or 13. No, I'm on day 13 right now. And it's just incredible to see the person that I'm becoming from it. So it makes me happy to have these different challenges and healthy habits and fitness. And so other things that make me so happy is travel. travel is all I think about. I think about it all day. I dream about it. I sleep about it. I breathe it. Like, all I want to do is travel all the time. So last year was a little challenging to travel internationally, but I still made sure every month I traveled somewhere, whether, it was staycation or a road trip or just somewhere that I could go because of how much happiness it brings me. And I'm always thinking, like, when's my next trip, and just the endorphins and adrenaline rush that I get from being able to be excited to go somewhere just brings me so much happiness. And part of that I'm going to incorporate into this channel. I'm going to be sharing my travels with you. So one of my biggest accomplishments actually with traveling is my big dream was to travel to 50 countries by the time I turned 32. And so I did that, and I'll talk about on this channel like some of the places that I've been, the hotels I've stayed at, and how I made that happen, so I can share that with all of you, because for some of you that love to travel, maybe you can relate on that way. And that's just how I design my happiness. And I design my happiness by meeting new people. Again, last year was challenging because of social distancing. But by creating this podcast, I've had a lot of people reach out to me that wanted to be on, and we have amazing technology because of Zoom. So I was able to meet a lot of new people that way. And then, since social connection is important, they have all of these, again, there's Zoom, there's FaceTime, Skype, there's all these platforms, Google Chat, iTeams, that you can keep in touch with loved ones even if you couldn't see them. And so I just made sure to take advantage of all of the technology to keep me in that happy state of mind. And I did a lot of reading. I listened to so many different podcasts, and I wanted to grow as a person. And I feel like last year I also learned to have better boundaries and just be the Marilee that I've always wanted to be, in the most authentic, happiest version of myself. And so again, I just hope that you'll be on this journey with me of designing your happiness, and you'll tune in to the Design Your Happiness podcast, my show, and then that you'll join my channel and you'll see my different playlists when I incorporate my travels. And it's just going to be a great time for you just to feel empowered. Like, I just want you to feel like when you listen to one of my episodes, you could listen in the car, you could wake up in the morning, have it playing while you're brushing your teeth, while you're washing your face, while you're in the shower, or winding down, driving home at night. Like, there's so many different times that you can listen to a podcast, that you can listen to a YouTube channel. And my creation and my goal for you is that you get that energy from me, and that you get inspired, and that you just feel like an empowered badass when you listen to me. And so I'm just excited that, for you to continue to listen. I promise to bring you so much value, so many incredible guests, and you'll also really I'll have shorter episodes too, because I know everybody's busy. So my shorter episodes are going to be called Pep Talks. So that way you just have that quick pep talk from Marilee to help put you in that positive state of mind. Like, whatever you're going through, I want to help shift that mindset of yours. And again, remember, I'm a normal person, but I try to be as connected as I can to all the professionals. So whatever professional advice they can give you, I'll have them on the channel. And I am just so excited that you've stopped by. So thank you. Let's design our happiness together. And let me just end with, I told you how important positive quotes are to me. So I just want to end and leave you with a positive quote to get you back in the right mindset. So my quote of the day for this episode: if you want to be happy, you have to be happy on purpose. When you wake up, you can't just wait to see what kind of day you'll have. You have to decide what kind of day you'll have. And that's by Joel Osteen. And that quote is just, yes, we can't wait for things to just happen. We can't wait to find happiness, right? Happiness isn't the end result. It's this journey, and we can have happiness every day if we're willing to start out that way. Like, I'm going to be happy today, or I'm going to be in a good mood. I'm going to have a good attitude. I'm going to react good. If that person cuts me off, I will be okay and I will still be happy, because life is short and there's so many things to be grateful for. And I'm here to help remind you, and I'm excited to go on this path with you in designing your happiness every single day. So remember to design your happiness, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you'll join me once every week on every Wednesday to bring you new amazing content.